Hey everyone, Golden Ninja 3000 here again. Today we're going to do one of my favorite things, talk about LEGO's insane prices. We've all noticed that US prices on summer sets have gotten pretty expensive, like relative to the norm. The US is always going to be the cheapest place to buy Lego for whatever reason. But some of the summer sets are just absolutely freaking ridiculous. The City Farm set is $70 when it should cost 50 max, and 50 would be overpriced. That set should be 30. Um, then like the Farmers Market van from the same wave, that should be a $30 set, maybe 35, and yet it's 45 in the US. And there's a bunch of other examples. The new Iron Man Armory set, that's a $60 set max, maybe 70, and Lego's priced it at 90. So we've noticed that prices have been increasing, which is annoying because I don't really think that they should be increasing that much. Inflation is not that high, and there's nothing to justify the increases. Lego's not doing super special things in those sets. There's nothing special about the city ones. Like there's a couple new animal molds. So again, a $50 price would make sense for that farm set, but not 70. So Lego seems to be overcompensating to an extreme degree just because they know that people will pay their insane prices. And I was actually very pleasantly surprised when the Obi-Wan Kenobi sets were revealed a couple of days ago, because they seem to be some of the most fairly priced Lego sets, Lego Star Wars sets in recent years, especially like the big one, the Inquisitor Transport Scythe, that has 100 pieces and 1,000 pieces and four brand new exclusive minifigures for $100. That was very impressive to me, even if the finished size of the thing still looks like it's more like a $90 set. And yet, we got word from Stone Wars a couple of days ago that LEGO was increasing prices, and now they've released a press release today. So this is from Brickset.com, and LEGO's press release says the current global economic challenges of increased raw material and operating costs are impacting many businesses. Putting consumers first is at the heart of what we do as a company, and for some time we have absorbed these costs to keep pricing stable. However, as these costs have continued to rapidly rise, we have taken the decision to increase the price on some of our sets. This increase will come into effect in August and September. The increase will differ depending on the set, and prices will change on around a quarter of the portfolio. On some sets, we will not alter price. On others, there will be a single-digit increase, and on larger, more complex sets, the percentage increase will be higher. We will continue to work to ensure our products offer great value and full recognize how important this is to our fans and everyone who loves our products. I don't understand why Lego's doing this. This is just a bunch of corporate BS, like this statement. Like this is absolutely just utter like bullshit. Forgive my swearing. Putting consumers first, yeah, that's absolute BS. Lego has I feel like they've been slipping from 2020 onwards anyway. There are more mistakes in sets. It does feel like they're throwing money at a lot of like useless themes in some people's opinions. I know a lot of people like didn't understand why Lego would make trolls and minion sets and stuff like that. Um, and they try to make themselves sound like super altruistic because they're like, we've absorbed these costs because we care about the consumers. Like, your company makes an obscene amount of money. Like, you can absorb these costs. Like, that's not an issue. So the fact that Lego is raising prices on a quarter of all Lego sets available, it's not for new sets. They're going to go back and change prices on older sets. And they're not even waiting until a new year starts. They're going to start doing this in 2 months. Like, that's absolutely insane to me, especially after European prices were already adjusted like at the start of this year. I think it was in January or February that Lego started equalizing prices across the European Union. So some sets went down, but most of them went up so that like you would pay the same euro amount in any European country, because previously it could differ like between borders, which was honestly stupid. So I understand why Lego did that, but for them to be raising prices again, this seems like a global press release. I'm assuming it's going to affect the US. If this is just for Europe, then that makes it even worse, because they just raised prices in Europe. But I don't understand. Lego's reasoning here makes absolutely no sense. They say that that it costs more money to make sets, and so they're not going to absorb the costs anymore. That's why they're raising the prices. Lego made like 32% more profit in 2021 than they did in 2020. We all know that they've been like that they've exploded because of the pandemic. And obviously the pandemic bubble will not last. Netflix is learning that right now. Lego will learn that too. So on paper, you can see why they'd increase costs, but again, they had a 32% increase in their in their profit last year. I think it was something insane. It was like 13 billion like Danish krone or something like that. And Brickset says it too. They say these changes are unsurprising and disappointing, particularly given the enormous financial success that they've achieved recently. It is disappointing. It is insane. And I don't, and it does not make sense why they're doing this. Because the other thing is, Lego just invested $1 billion in some random like metaverse venture. Like it was a partnership with like another company. I think it may be Sony. But if you can throw $1 billion into Facebook's like fake virtual reality like dreamscape, then I'm pretty sure you can avoid increasing costs. I think like obviously there's always going to be problems with mega corporations, but and I'm not a staunch proponent of capitalism. I am an economics major and I probably shouldn't be because I just don't agree with any of the things I'm studying because like it's all just like made up theories that like don't exist in the real world. And this obsession with like constantly increasing profits year over year does not make any sense to me. Like Lego, why are you doing this because you need to increase profits year over year? If you actually care about the consumer, like don't lie about that. If you actually care about the consumer, you don't need to raise prices. You will live if you only make a 2% growth instead of a 32% growth. Like believe it or not, if you're still raking in 15 billion US dollars or whatever, not that's sorry, it's like 15 billion like Danish krone, like I said, but still, if you're still raking in 2 billion US dollars, then I think you're going to be fine, and you don't need to like increase prices by an obscene amount of money so that you can make 2.2 billion US dollars. Like, because where's the money going? The money's not reflected in the sets, that's for sure, because these sets like by the day Lego sets are getting like worse and worse value. Particularly, I think the Iron Man Armory set is the perfect example of that, of how like it's not worth, like they have improved stuff, like they made new helmet molds and everything, but those improvements do not justify a price that's 20 to $30 higher than it should be. So that's why this statement just reads like utter bullshit to me, because Lego does not care about putting the consumers first. This move is directly disadvantageous to consumers. So for them to position themselves as being like altruistic by like raising prices now versus raising prices like a couple of years ago, it's all just dumb. Like don't lie. Like you don't put the consumer first, and that's fine. Just be upfront about it. But like yeah, but to pretend that you're some kind of like benevolent company because you absorbed these costs during the pandemic, it rubs me the wrong way, like to an insane degree. I don't understand what they're doing here. And Stonewars did release a list of like all of the sets that are going to be increasing in value, so I'm going to switch over to that. So here's the Stonewars article. Again, they were the first person to report. They were the first outlet to report on this. So they have 105 sets whose retail price will increase. And again, this is in euros. I don't know if this is going to affect the US, but I assume it will. So the Avatar sets will already increase in price, even though they haven't come out yet. So previously they were going to be 40, 90, and $140, and now they're going to be 45, 100, and 150. That's kind of crazy because I doubt that they were really worth those prices in the first place. Lego City sets are increasing. So like the $40 rough terrain crane or mobile crane, that's the name in the US. I'm like staring at it right now because I just bought it. That's going from $40 to $45. That's a 13% increase on a set that should have been $30 in the first place. So that's crazy. Police station going from the new police station is going from $60 to $65. That's fine, I think. If you're gonna $5 increase a $60 set, that's not insane. But doing a $5 increase on a $40 set, that's kind of crazy to me. The new passenger train set is going from 150 euros to 160 euros. Again, like there's no like nothing justifies that rise to me. Like the Moon Rover is going from 30 to 35, but again, that should have been a $25 set. Classic sets are rising as well. This one really rubs me the wrong way. Pirate ship, 120 euros for the Creator 3-in-1 pirate ship, and now it's going to be 130. That shouldn't be 120 euros. It's 100 in the US. It should be 100 euros. So for it to now be 130, that's just dumb. But what really gets me is that Lego is raising the prices of all of like the 18 plus sets by like 10 to 20%. And to be fair, those sets are usually pretty good value for money. Out of everything that Lego makes, I think like the 200 to 3 or the 150 to like $300 range gives you the best value for your money. So the Creator Expert Ford Mustang is going from 140 euros to 170 euros. That's a big jump. I don't think that's worth it. I think if it went from 140 to 150, that would be fine. But going from 140 to 170, that's stupid. Ghostbusters going from 200 to 240 euros. That's also crazy. Like that set was like barely worth 200, I think. And so to then put it at 240, that's dumb. The flower bouquet, that's going from 50 to 60. Again, that's a 20% increase. I do not think that set is worth $60. Like, for that price, they should have thrown in a vase build. The tumbler, this is another great one. The tumbler set is going from 230 euros to 270 euros. That's like the same price as the Joker Manor set when it came out like 5 years ago. That's crazy because the tumbler's not in any way like comparable to a set like that, and that's like the first set that pops into my mind at that price point. So yeah, I don't know. Like this is insane. Like these are just the examples that Stone Wars gave. Like I could keep going through like all of the sets, but I don't think it's worth it. Because it doesn't make any sense. So I don't think that Lego should be increasing prices. I think their justification for increasing prices is just it's just corporate BS, and it makes me very disappointed in them. Like, I will say that. I will always love Lego. I love building Lego. I love playing with Lego. It is like my number one passion. But for them to be treating their consumers like this, on top of like everything else that they've done in recent years, yeah, I just don't get it. And also, like, the other thing about increasing prices, even if they had defended it by saying that they were trying to become a more sustainable company, at least that would have been like a legitimate reason, because I'm sure it is more expensive. Like being sustainable is more expensive, like we all know that. But it's 2022. Lego said that we were going to start seeing like paper bags and sets in 2021, and there still aren't any halfway through 2022. So if Lego would put this money towards something good, like making sustainable products and not letting like their plastic clog up the oceans and stuff like that, that would be something that would at least be worthwhile. But again, like, where are the paper bags? They were promised a year and a half ago, and they still aren't here. They were in one employee exclusive set, and that's all we've seen of them. So yeah, so I'm really not vibing with Lego's decisions as a company right now, and I really hope that they make some better decisions very soon. So let me know what you guys think about this situation in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out my website goldenninja3000.com, and I'll see you guys with more videos soon. Bye for now.